Yo, yo, what up, good people? What's crack-a-lackin'? Buck Ballsy back with another stream of consciousness. Haven't really been motivated since probably like Kendrick Lamar, Drake battle. I think I developed what's it called? A bad habit, a vice. Um, yeah, basically I started binge watching YouTube hip hop breakdowns and all kind of history of hip hop stories and shit ever since the battle, and I can't stop. And it be distracting me from work and getting money, and I want to stop, but I'm a child of hip hop, man, and some of that shit just feels like removing layers of the onion, you know? It just be so like meaningful to me for some reason. So I say all that to say I wanted to give my 2 cents on J. Cole shit, because I listened to it about 4-5 times now. Talked to a few of my peers, my cousin, my big cousin, my brother. No, I ain't talked to my brother yet about it. I think we had just talked about the freestyles. But basically, I've been asking everybody what their thoughts is, and trying to work through what my thoughts is. And what I've landed on is pretty uncomfortable. That's why I want to share it. I think I got a lot of J. Cole in me. When everybody's saying like he's authentic but from a distance, he's over thoughtful, over analytical, got this survivor's remorse that he deals with constantly, talking about how he made it, but acting like he kind of left the hood or left people behind that cared about him, or you just get that sentiment that nothing he does is ever enough, or he feels that way. Went to New York to get the love. He got the half black, half white thing, mulatto going on, which I can't relate to that. I do have a lighter skin complexion, but I never consider myself any different from any of my other brethren that consider themselves black, African American. I don't use those terms anymore, but my peoples, man, melanated, from the diaspora. What do they call them? Foundational black. You know what I'm saying? I don't call myself no ADOS neither, because my myself, my spirit, my soul is much more than some history book that was written by somebody else. I'm not a slave, or I don't consider my lineage to be descendants of slaves or whatever. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Point is, like they was just talking, I was watching FD Signifier and Torre. I've watched a few people talk about the album. Good feedback too. I liked what Read My Soul had to say. Deleted is always awesome. But I gotta admit, man, that's why I stopped rapping. Because when I saw Kendrick Lamar, I was like, that nigga got it. You could go back on my YouTube 10 years ago, maybe more than that, 12, 15 years ago, and I said this shit. Because he has the perfect balance of a message without it being preachy. Jamming ass music, but still with a dope ass message, which people would consider conscious rap or backpack rap, whatever, all that. But Kendrick knows how to transcend all those labels. I'm not your savior. I'm not the conscious guy. I'm a nigga from Compton that has duality and is working through it in real time and able to express it in a way that everybody can grab onto and relate. And that's the part that J. Cole was striving for but couldn't hit the mark. And that's how I felt too. A lot of his stories I can relate to. The one that they was talking about was Quick Stop. I have a story just like that at the gas station, thinking it wasn't somebody telling me, Buck, you the man, but it was me thinking that nigga was about to air us out at the gas station. I was with my boy Pharaoh. We was in Whittier, and anybody from LA know, especially back in the day, brothers, man, you don't stop in that area, not in the middle of the night, 2 a.m, trying to get gas, you know what I mean? Anywhere, East LA, Whittier, all that, that area over there. Some more cities that I could probably name. But Yeah, you better, just like you better have a pass when you come through the hood, your ghetto pass, you better have your Mexican pass over there, your SA pass, nigga, because they ain't playing. So, quick stop, the let out, you know, where niggas is getting shot in the club, after the club and shit. I got a couple of stories where me and my homies got into it with niggas, got robbed, got into squabbles, got bottles broken on us, and all kind of crazy shit, bro. I done been robbed in my own city, was robbed in LA. Niggas was gang banging on us. I ain't gonna say that I was ever scared of my people, though. Never that. Just very aware of my surroundings. And, you know, as a grown man, I still move the same. I go wherever I want because I carry my head high. I treat people with respect, and I'm aware of my surroundings. And I move in a way where I feel like God got me, you know, positivity. But sometimes when you with your homies and, you know, shit arises, how you handle it, it really says a lot about you and your crew. And when I look back, man, we really had some buster moments, man. I hate to say it. But because at the end of the day, you just want to get out alive, though. Keep on living. And like Kobe's saying, there's a lot of people that he saw pass away. And that shit has an effect on you. Some people have a superpower or super strength where maybe that don't affect them in the same way, but it's crazy because all the shortcomings of this new album, The Falloff, and what J. Cole is expressing, I feel it. And I also commend him for being bold enough to call it The Falloff, to execute the delivery of it, to know that people was going to criticize. I even like the Biggie and Pac story. My cousin Bill said, nigga, we don't want to hear you trying to speak up for two soldiers that's gone when you was the one that bowed out, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. But for me, I'm willing to go down that path with Cole and give him the benefit of the doubt to say, yeah, we all wish Pac and Biggie was still here. And maybe sometimes that gladiator, you know, prove it, you know, Pyru, you know, what's the other side? You know, see, I'm game goofy. You know, the season, the bees, and all around the country, and you know, you got your folks and your, you know, all the, you know, all the, you know, the steppers. So I've always had to try to balance that too, like having respect for the streets and the hoods and the what we would call the street warriors and soldiers, because in my mind I was trying to rectify, like, man, is y'all really doing damage to the community though, or are you protecting the community? Because it seems like maybe it was once upon a time to protect the community, but now it holds the community at ransom. And when you look around to all the hoods, man, I don't like seeing our people with impoverished buildings, dilapidated streets, you know, businesses don't want to be there because of the crime or whatever, man. Like, and I'm not saying it's us, it's the environment. I get that. But what I'm saying is I don't like seeing that shit. Especially when you go to the other part of town where they got a little money and the schools is nicer, the streets is nicer, the buildings is nicer, the resources is there, you know, it ain't no food desert. So you constantly like try to figure out, why are my people in this situation and what do we need to do differently, you know? But that's not to try to knock those that partake in those actions or grew up in that or are that, you know? Because I know it's a lot of thorough motherfuckers that represent that shit well. It's just like any organization, be it the Masons or the Congress or the police department or your gangs. You're gonna have people that I call it, to my wife, I call it the loud minority. Just like with this Bad Bunny shit in the Super Bowl. Most people ain't really even tripping. The Super Bowl performance was great. If you know music, you don't gotta understand the music to enjoy it. Hell, who understood heavy metal? You could hardly understand reggae. Uh, some rap music is hard to understand. Like, unless it could be English, and that shit is still hard to understand. A lot of different genres. Some pop music, I don't know what the fuck they talking about. K-pop is some of the biggest shit in the world. Don't nobody know what the fuck they talking about, except for the ones that took American music and just turned it into Korean pop, but again, that's a message for another day. So what I'm basically getting at is there's no point or rhyme or reason to this message other than to say, I respect Cole for his Fall Off album. I really do. Some of that shit I really don't like. It's a lot of like contradictions. The mulatto line was crazy. Like, I didn't understand that, I think the battle left him feeling kind of, we all focused on how much Drake lost and J. Cole lost for stepping down, but we didn't really probably think about how it affected J. Cole, because we know it's affecting Drake because he's showing it with the suing and all that and just all the petty shit. But J. Cole is more solid. He shoots his shit subliminally, so people read through his lyrics, like the Port Antonio shit, and what else did he do after that? Was speaking on the shit, basically the rollout for this fall off. But yeah, this is some weird, eerie shit. To plan your fall off album because you already knew the fall off was inevitable and you wasn't getting the acclaim that you felt like you deserved. So this was going to be your magnum opus. And really, it's brilliant. I love the concept, the 29 and the 39 and going back to Fayetteville. But man, I seen a video that encapsulated it perfectly, but I had this sentiment prior to watching any reactions. That shit felt like a watered down Kendrick Lamar impersonation. From even the harmonizing, which I know J. Cole sings his own shit and produces his own shit. Give him props for that. But yeah, just the vibe of it, the storytelling, the skits, going back to your hometown, I'm not saying Kendrick got a patent on the shit. It's hip hop, nigga. You could do whatever you want, but we're gonna call you out on it. Like, if it was great, then it could have been great on its own, but in a vacuum. But in the totality, it feels like more of some shit we heard before from Cole, wrapped in a trying to best the dude who they have given the crown to, and he feel like he should have got some of that shine. And he probably should have, If Kendrick got 26 Grammys, could Kendrick have 20 right now and Cole have 6? Yeah. But unfortunately, Cole never fully jumped without the parachute. He was trying to live up to Jay-Z expectations, doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. Finally hit it out the park with Forest Hill Drive. And ever since then, it feel like he took the role of elder statesman rapper, KOD, and all this fall off energy, basically warning young rappers and going at rappers. The best shit that made J. Cole legacy forever solidified was his features run, period. Only Lil Wayne and Andre 3000 had better features runs than J. Cole. He got like the third best feature run of all time. Leave it in the comments if you got one that's better. I say Andre 3000 never missed. Lil Wayne, say what you want. I know he's some people's GOAT. For me, top 30. But feature run? top notch. That nigga could give you a hot 16. And that's the same thing with Cole. The songwriting is it's good. The beats is it's good. The lyrics are fucking phenomenal. Amazing. The rapping is amazing. The singing, average at best. So when you put all that together, they're good, phenomenal, and average, you get good. Because the phenomenal and the average gotta balance themselves out, and the other ones are good. So he's a solid, good rapper, but not great. And that's fine, I guess. I love that he went for his, but he really didn't, though, to me. He held back. And that's what people are calling out. Torre's co-host said it perfectly. He said it's not a problem of authenticity with Cole. It's opacity, opaqueness, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. That slider on the editing thing that make things see through. You know what I'm saying? Not the oil company, OPEC or whatever. Or, you know, the conglomerate of whatever. You know what I'm talking about. That Saudi money. But, yeah, man. I could relate to J. Cole because I wanted to be the Tupac, the dude that could reach the people, but also have a message. But for our generation, that's Kendrick Lamar, and I'm grateful for Kendrick Lamar. That nigga's amazing. Because you have to you got to be a certain person. You got to kind of be anointed to be in that position. And J. Cole just proved that. That's my whole thesis right there. You could work very hard and be very great. But Cole not the God. It reminds me of like Jay-Z. Jay-Z worked very hard, but he ain't Pac and Biggie, you know. He's Jay-Z. Like, we love him for his business acumen. And yeah, he's a dope rapper. Like, niggas still could quote Jay-Z shit to this day. Like, Jay-Z raised a lot of us. But my point is, he didn't touch the people like Big and Pac. He did the work, and he's good at what he does. But something about his shit, like Cole, you feel like he's still keeping you at shoulder's distance. Almost like he feel better than you. And that's cool, because all rappers talk that shit, but Pac felt like he was right there with the people. Big, same thing. And there's more, DMX, you know what I mean? Rest in peace. That's just a certain anointed gift, and Kendrick Lamar is that dude. Wale seems to have it. He just don't have the work ethic or the classics behind him, but he touches the people. You gotta be able to touch the people. And I wasn't able to do that. And sometimes you just gotta admit it, you know? I focus on trying to be the best leader I can for my household. I wasn't the best leader for my crew, but I did keep us safe. And I got us out alive. And that's what I think J. Cole is about. Peace, harmony, chakras, balance. He talks about that shit. But that archetype, I guess, is not designed to be the top dog. You could be one of the dogs, but you just ain't that alpha dog. And that's not me knocking myself. That's not me knocking Cole. It's just a realization. Maybe it's that melanin, man. I don't know. Maybe it's something to that shit they be saying about light-skinned niggas, boy. I don't get into all that colorism. But my brother is a darker hue, and he got that shit. He got it from my papa, too. So it's not even all about color. It's a spark, man. When you could walk into a room and light up the room, that's something special. I don't think you can manufacture that. That's an archetype. That's like why they be saying, I used to be heavy into the brother Red Pill and brother Blue Pill, Dr. Sabi's kin. And they used to always talk about the there being a messiah. There's always a archetype of the black messiah, or, you know, the one, you know, Neo. Not to say that there's only one, there's many, but they keep an eye out for that archetype like Jesus, because those people that can move the people are dangerous. Very dangerous. If you can get people to act, look at today. It's all about influence. And Cole, you have influence. I love you for what you do. I love that you were able to complete your album like you wanted to, regardless of what the people say. I think we should just appreciate it for what it is, and that's what I'm gonna do. And that's not me lowering my standard or nothing. I believe Cole did the best he could do on this album. He's an overanalyzer, and I'm an overanalyzer. And what I just learned is recently, just hella recently, just watched the video on this shit, about to start working on it. But overanalyzers don't live in the moment. And once this video broke it down to me, I was like, and I was reading the comments, I was like, fuck, bro, I got some work to do. Because I do a lot of shadow work. But when you overanalyze everything, you always trying to figure it out. So you never really experience it. But baby, that's a good thing, because if I'm at 42 years old and I done what I done in my life without really even experiencing and being in the moment, I'm sure I'm in the moment sometimes because it just has to be, you know. But like intentionally in the moment, you know, all the time, when I mastered that, nigga, how much more grand can life be? How much more vivid can it be? How much less dependency on other things will I not need anymore when I'm really present and not anxious or thinking about the past or the future or analyzing what was said and conversations in my head and this and that. Yeah, like plan. But once you got to give it to God, man. Got to give it to God. And I think that's why we don't hear from Kendrick, because he stays, I don't know him, but this is what I gather. He's connected to Source. Super Saiyan, that nigga's on a different plane, man. He's meditating and like levitating type shit. That's why he's so willing to take on a war, because he even spoke on it through the whole time. Like, life is about challenges, and he was ready to take on any challenger no matter what the cost for that cause. And he said that from day one and never wavered. And when the time came, he was like a Ginsu motherfucking nigga. Did y'all not think he was for real with the boogeyman shit? And I'm not glazing, I'm just explaining archetypes. This nigga was so ready. He still got shit in the tuck, I believe. The knockout just happened with Not Like Us, so we could party on, and the party just went on for a whole nother year or two. But boy, oh boy, did they fuck with the wrong one. And Cole, you know, thank you for your story. And yeah, man, there's validity to the Pocket Biggie shit, because we do us a better service by bigging each other up and being not necessarily the bigger man, because they've accused Cole of trying to be the bigger man and explaining his way away. But in reality, bro, we need people like Cole. And that's not me just trying to say, just like how he used that metaphor to justify him bowing out of the battle and saying, like, what if? I'm not just trying to use Cole now to give myself a pass. Because the truth is, I didn't have to make a video comparing myself to a nigga that's getting clowned all over the internet right now. But I see myself in him because he trying to please too many people. Straight up and down. So this video is not just for the online reaction it may get. This shit is for me. Because it's time to stop overanalyzing and stop trying to please people and experience life for once. I think Cole recognized that too. The fall off is really about Cole trying to reinvent himself. That nigga might come out with a reggae album or do some whole other shit. And I ain't gonna be mad at him. Most of the greats did that shit. Snoop, you know, shit. Eddie Murphy was singing. We got all kind of talent. That's the thing. And I think that's what Cole recognizes. Like, yeah, I ain't gonna win this one. But you got so much to offer, Cole, and I don't need to tell you that. I'm really talking to myself. It's time to plan, plot, strategize, and bomb first. I'm gonna leave it there. Peace to y'all. Buck Ballsy out. Hey, I also do water softening systems, the Water Guy Alkaline on Instagram, and might even do some Instacart. That's not a plug. Instacart, if you want to be a sponsor, that'd be great. But what I'm saying is, time to elevate. The fall off. But what comes next? Life is in reverse, huh? That's what Cole was saying too. Yeah, he overanalyzing shit. Cause it's time to go up.